For most Americans, rather, July is a time to celebrate their country's freedom and independence. But later this month, near Chicago, one radical Islamic group will do just the opposite. CBN's Eric Stakelbeck sounded the alarm about Hizb ut-Tahrir in the latest episode of his new program seen on CBNnews.com. The show is called Stakelbeck on Terror, and this segment is called Sharia Flaw.
You know, the Islamists who want to impose Sharia law here in America don't just have regional aspirations, they want global Islamic domination. One influential group that preaches exactly that is Hizb ut-Tahrir. This terror-linked group wants to see a worldwide Islamic state, or caliphate, reestablished. It's been banned in Germany, Russia, the Netherlands, and many Middle Eastern countries. But what do you know? Hizb ut-Tahrir is still welcome right here in the United States. Check out this ad for their upcoming conference outside of Chicago. Welcome to America. Give us your tired, your poor, and your Islamic jihadists. Subduing the world under an Islamic caliphate. It's just another in a long list of Sharia flaws.
And for more on this story, let's go back over to Pat.
Well, Eric is with us now from Washington. And Eric, tell us more about this group. They're coming open. You know, up to this point, a number of the Islamic people hid their goals. They're openly saying we want a worldwide caliphate. What's the deal?
Yeah, Pat, you know, they're very open about it. I was able to obtain this pamphlet on a recent trip to London, this Hizb ut-Tahrir publication, saying that jihad is compulsory, mandatory for all Muslims. They make no attempts to hide it, Pat. A bit of good news about this upcoming conference. It was originally supposed to be held at a Marriott hotel outside of Chicago. The Marriott canceled the event due to public pressure, but Hizb ut-Tahrir is rescheduling for later this month at a yet undisclosed location. Here's the deal, Pat, about Hizb ut-Tahrir, why they are so dangerous. I've spoken to former Hizb ut-Tahrir members who told me the group serves as a conveyor belt for potential terrorists. They get you, they indoctrinate you, preach jihad, hatred of the West, the destruction of Israel. They get you to a certain point, and then they say, hey, you're on your own. They get you to the point where you're ready to commit violence. Then Hizb ut-Tahrir leaders say, hey, we don't support terrorism. We didn't put them up to this. They did it on their own. But it's the Hizb ut-Tahrir indoctrination ideology that gets them to that point. They support Islamic Sharia law. They support a worldwide Islamic state, the destruction of Israel. Other than that, Pat, they're perfectly democratic.
That's the kind of Democrats we need. Eric, are there enough of them to make any real impact?
Pat, they're a real growing problem in the U.S. In Britain, huge problem. Tony Blair was supposed to ban this group after the July 7, 2005 London bombings, but he never did. They're very strong in Britain. They have a growing presence here in the U.S. In terms of how the U.S. government, Pat, is countering this Hizb ut-Tahrir threat, it's pretty shocking. A Muslim advisor for President Obama named Dalia Mogahed, this is an advisor for the president. Back in October 2009, Pat, she actually appeared on a show on British TV hosted by a member of Hizb ut-Tahrir. In that show, she defended Islamic Sharia law. I have to say, Pat, the Obama administration is doing more to empower these soft jihadist groups like Hizb ut-Tahrir, like the Muslim Brotherhood, who say, hey, we're not violent, we don't support terrorism. But at the end of the day, Pat, their goals are exactly the same as the violent jihadists like al-Qaeda, and that is Islamic Sharia law imposed right here in the United States.
Eric, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, his program is on CBN.com, and special with Stakelbeck on terror. You know, it's very simple. If you have a healthy body, the chances are you're not going to catch various germs and bacteria and viruses that are prevalent in the air. because your body is so strong, it repels those things, and the same thing with many types of cancers. But if your body is weakened because you're not nutritionally sound or something of that nature, then it's very easy for you to be taken over by these invaders. Well, it's the same thing with the body politic here in America and in the West. Once we were strongly Christian, these people didn't have a chance of getting a foothold in our society. But now that we don't know what we believe, now that we have torn apart the fabric of our belief system, we have ridiculed and mocked the religious values that made this country great. Once we get in that position, our body politic is weak, and we're, well, look what's happening. Wendy?